Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, how not to start a regular season. Yo, look, I'm going to be real with you, and I'm not even going to try to laugh too much during this, but I want to make sure that my point gets very thoroughly across. The Ravens need a lot of help. Now, I heard a lot of Raven fans, chewing into Lamar, and Lamar didn't play extraordinarily great and stuff like that. But let me tell you something right now. You know what my eyes saw? My two eyes, I saw an absolutely abysmal offensive line. You know, the offensive line that I've been telling y'all was going to be a problem for this year, the entire year. Right? You remember, before all this year started, I was telling y'all that all offseason, look, this offensive line is going to be a problem. You remember me saying that? You remember me putting it out there? And everyone was like, oh, Nitro, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know football. Do you watch football? Watch all 22 films. You'll learn something. How right was I? Please. So for everybody that was just like, Nitro, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. You know exactly I knew what I was talking about. For the people that was saying the O-line would be fine, you lied to all of us. You were trolling for the organization. And for the people that said, Ronnie Stanley, we're not worried about him either. He's going to be just fine. He's an all-pro. Even though he hasn't played an all-pro since 2019. Be quiet. You know why? Because this thing has been festering. And I'm tired of it. Listen, let me tell you something right now. I was watching the game live. There were multiple plays. I counted, let me go back. There was the 2 to Odell. There was the 1 to Zay, and there was 1 to Bate. Okay, so we're just going to say 5. Because I know that off the top of my head. There were 5 plays. Look at it. And it's like a slap. You see how that works? 5 plays that there are wide open receivers. And Lamar was looking their way. But the pass rush made sure that he couldn't get the ball off. And everyone's going to say, well, that's why you check it down. What was happening with the quick game? Please, they were sitting on the routes. Because guess why? The 4-man rush, the 3-man rush was getting to him so quick. One, hike. There. That's how quick it was happening. And it's I abhor the people that will make excuses saying, oh, it's the first game of the season. Technically, it's the preseason. You know what I mean? It's like, come on now, man. How much more do y'all need to see? And we're not even factoring in all of the injuries. We're not even factoring that in. I was watching that yesterday, and my throat got dry. Yo, I think I could be a little candid. I hit Lamar up after the game, and I was like, man, how was your first thing? How did you feel after your first live action since December? And he pretty much told me, and I quote, ASS, laugh, laugh, laugh. That's what his response was to me. So Lamar is taking accountability for his lackluster play. For all the people that are going to say, oh, well, what are you going to say about Lamar? But just like he said in the press conference, there were some things that I saw guys wide open. If this offensive line cannot block, we're in a world of hurt. Because this is a pass-first offense. And they're passing, now it's like they're forced to get out the ball for a quick game even faster. Oh! And I want to put down something else. Remember when I was crying? Remember I said, look, I wanted Tyreek Hill. And this is not a shot at our receivers because I love our receivers. I'm just saying, remember when I was saying and everyone was just like, oh, Nitro, we don't need no Tyreek Hill. Y'all saw what he did to the Chargers yesterday, right? He was wide open in 2 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, wide open down the field. I just want to throw that out there also for all the people that said I was wrong on that too. But this is the conundrum that the Ravens find themselves in. Lamar is going to be Lamar. He's going to be able to make plays when there's no plays to be made. He's spectacular that way. He's a magician that way. But even he's going to start off rusty. And look, I actually had, I said this. I said I have them. I said that I thought the game was going to be 35-21 Ravens. That's what I called. Okay? I said I felt like Tank Davis was going to go off. He was going to have 80 to 100 yards against us, but I felt like the Ravens would thoroughly start to run the ball and get play action off of it and win handedly. We won by almost that amount, right? Almost, yeah, about almost the same. The chasm of the points. So I was almost correct on that. And Tank Dell was open on multitudes of plays. There were plays where I saw Ravens double teaming him, bracketing him. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, they saw him open on the last play. Thank God. And I was saying it during the thing, but I was wrong that he was going to have 80 to 100. So I was wrong on that. But this is the things that I keep trying to say. If the Ravens do not start to take, strength and conditioning is not just about lifting weights. It's not. Yoga, extreme stretching to keep those tendons and ligaments loose. It can't, listen, I don't want to hear no more it's a coincidence. It can't be a coincidence. Every year, our best players go down. Players that have never been hurt before in their entire careers. College, other teams, we get them hurt. And everyone's just like, oh, it's a coincidence. You don't believe it? Oh, don't tell me to. Oh, I'm tired of it. I'm telling you right now, something has to change. Steve Saunders might be gone, but his ghost, his essence, his energy is still permeating through the building because everybody seems to still be doing the same thing they were doing when Steve Saunders was here. It has to change, or our fortunes as an organization will not. Remember, mind you, we haven't won the Super Bowl since when? We got one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. I don't care which way you slice it. He's top 2 to me. Top 2. None of those other guys you're going to bring up here has an MVP. None of those other guys that led the league in passing touchdowns. None of those guys have been an all-pro yet. Or even a 2-3 time Pro Bowler. So, what are we, you get where I'm coming from? Look, I get it. And I said this also during the stream. I said, it's the worst 25-point scoring game I've ever seen the Ravens put up. Because that goes to show you just how much yards they left on the field. So many yards left on that field. Morgan Moses, he got beat like a drum. Ronnie Stanley, he got beat like a drum. Linderbaum, there was a couple plays where he got beat like a drum. The only person I wasn't really noticing, but I don't know if they got beat like a drum, but I would really was Zeitler, and that's a good thing because usually if you're not noticing the offensive line doing anything, that means they're doing a good job, and that's fact. Everybody else, either penalties or getting beat like a drum, and then on top of it, now you mix in that there's going to be injury. Good shout outs to at least EDC for having the know-how to have a second center on the league already brought up. Mustafa, I believe. He came in when Linderbaum went down. And hopefully Linderbaum's not going to be out for probably, not even a game. Hopefully. But then, I'm curious to see how this offense looks in its totality because the tight ends didn't even get they got one target, 2 targets for all the tight ends for the entire game. I don't think that's going to be the same thing with Mark Andrews. I just do not think so. There's no way. So there's that also. So there was a lot of factors playing into this game. But what do you think? Tell me what you think about yesterday's game. The Ravens versus the Houston Texans. Is that the way how you start a regular season game or a regular season opener? Because I don't believe we should have started like that. Injuries. What was it? Over 100 yards of penalties, my gosh, drop passes, missed opportunities, bruh, absolutely 25-point abysmal performance, and I'll keep it like that. But I think that they could bounce back. I truly do. If this offensive line can get out of their own way and start playing as a unit, then they could be okay. But tell me what you think down in the comments section, right? Because I'll tell you right now, boy, I'm a lot calmer than I was going to be. I'm a lot calmer because I was fitting to be slapping everything. Powder, water, bodies, heads, teeth flying everywhere. I was so mad. Dead serious with you. Dead serious with you. But that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. And I hope we get down, we have fun, and we laugh. But everything we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You know I love the comments. Just be respectful, please, when you're leaving them. And if you have not already done so, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. 3 tiers of absolute content goodness for your consumption, and it also supports the channel. So give it a look. And if you would just like to leave a donation to help out with new equipment, stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR code to a Cash App. The Cash App is located in the description of every video that we do, and the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Super, super easy. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This show is Nitro signing off, and as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here.